Hi everyone, Joy here. As you guys know, I have started this podcast to share my entrepreneurial journey with you all. And I thought what better way to do that than to interview other entrepreneurs. And today I have a wonderful lady on my podcast. Her name is Julie Lassen and she's from Christchurch in New Zealand. And she helps people to go green. Hi Julie, how are you doing?
Nice to meet you.
I'm so happy that we're having this interview. It's quite nice to talk to people that is actually in my region. I don't have to do crazy time zones, which is absolutely refreshing and fabulous. Tell people a little bit about you, a little bit of a backstory, where you're from, where did you grow up, just so people can get to understand and know you a little bit as a person.
I grew up on a farm in Green Park. Green Park's out near Lake Ellesmere.
Yes.
So I think growing up on a farm gives you a great appreciation of the world and where we sort of fit in. And I've got two brothers and a sister. And I always was outside doing things with my father. And I learnt some great skills, how to do concreting, my favourite job, I love tailing lambs. And I've often said to my brother-in-law, he's on a farm, and I often said, if you ever need an extra pair of hands, I'll come and help you with tailing. So yes, I was there until I purchased my first house at 23 and left home.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fantastic. I love farm stories. I also grew up on a farm, so I love it. It's awesome. What was the very first thing that you discovered, like that moment that you discovered that you wanted to be an entrepreneur? What was that thing that made you think, oh, I actually want to be an entrepreneur?
Right from an early age, like when I was 19, I saw an advertisement to go to Outward Bound. So I sponsored myself to go to Outward Bound up in Anakiwa for a 23-day course.
Nice.
And it was an all-women's course. And right from then, I knew that I was going to go out and change the world. That was my mission. And it's just taken me a bit of a journey to get to that point.
Yes. And when you say change the world, did you know at that moment what you wanted to do to change the world, or was that something?
No, and I actually said that just recently on a Facebook post. I went, I left high school and I went to a Polytech, what it was called then. It's now called ARA Institute, and I learned shorthand typing. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I got a position with a business, which was the first one. I went from that to Lincoln University, and I was a shorthand typist there for many years. But I was always leading. I developed a secretarial group, and I did all these extra things in the department. Like we had a trophy, and I organised a soccer tournament between the departments and all sorts of things like that. Yeah. So I was always organising and doing things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you were never meant to be a typist.
I don't think so, no. Although it's a great skill to be using now because I'm very fast.
That's a good time saver. I agree. What is the very first business that you tried on your own when you left your job?
I had a couple of franchises.
Ooh.
The first franchise I had was in personal development, SMI, Success Motivation International, where you develop people to their full potential. And I went to America, won awards and travelled. I had a World Client of the Year. So that was very successful. Then being a franchise, when the master franchise changes the rules, and I left franchising and I said I was never doing any more franchising. No. Then I got involved with a trade economy.
Okay.
Like barter card, people will know barter card, but it was called alt finance. Okay. And I was very successful in that because I had the Canterbury region where I live. And again, the master franchisor changed the rules, and I said, never again. I am never, ever going to have a franchise. And I haven't. No more franchises.
Yeah, because if they change the rules, that's kind of your business down the drain.
Absolutely. And in both cases, it was major. It wasn't like you could work your way around it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is that what sparked you to do what you do now?
Well, then it wasn't a conscious decision that I was going to do it.
Yeah.
But a girlfriend said to me, she's getting married, and would I be her marriage celebrant?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, I don't think so. I'll do a reading at your wedding. Then within 2 weeks, another girlfriend said, do you know what you should do? You should be a marriage celebrant. And then the third person said, so this is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, okay, there's a message here. So I actually applied, and I had to work at it to be appointed, because it was much harder to get appointed because it was worked on population base. They had a certain number of celebrants per population. Today it's very different. People can basically apply if they want to be a celebrant, and if they're a good upstanding member of the community, they can be appointed. Yeah. So I became a marriage celebrant. And if I do anything, I get stuck in and make it happen. So a few years ago now, but I had a meeting with the registrar, and he said I was the busiest celebrant in New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
And I said, really? And I said, in Christchurch. No, he didn't. His wording was, you're the busiest celebrant we've got. Oh. I said, oh, in Christchurch. And he said, no, in New Zealand.
Wow.
And I said, really? And he said, yes. You do a lot more weddings than anyone.
Wow.
Because most celebrants only do maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
5 or 6, 7 or 8. A few do 20, but I was doing well over 100.
Wow, that is
amazing.
That is amazing.
So I've done a lot of weddings. Well over 1,500 couples, closer to 2,000.
Wow, that is amazing. That is seriously awesome. Would you say then you love love?
Yes, and it's interesting because every time you see I've got hearts on that wall, my thing is hearts, and everything I do is about love and kindness and hearts. And every time I do a post, I always put a red heart at the end of my post. And I didn't realise I did it until I thought about it the other day and thought, oh, yeah, that is my signature, the red heart.
That is really, really cool. I like that a lot. So let's talk a little bit about your being a celebrant. What is your struggles that you face with this?
Most people have a fear of public speaking, and I've never had that fear.
Oh, wow.
So I don't find, and my skills as a secretary has made me be able to do that and do it really well, because I am a good administrator, because you have to be on the ball, you have to be able to communicate, you have to be able to do the keep on track and manage lots of things at the same time.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did, and that allowed me to be successful in that.
That's amazing. Now, when I introduced you, I was talking about you helping people to go green. So can you tell us a little bit about how you help people to go green? Because I just love this topic so much. I think it's like the one amazing thing ever. People that know me know I'm all about green things. Tell us a little bit about how you help people to go green, please.
Well, because the wedding industry has changed, there's a lot more celebrants have come in, and I've done it for 20 years, and I've married over 2,000 couples. I decided I was going to do something online. I wanted to do an online business. Okay. So I have trialed a number of businesses.
Okay.
The compensation plan wasn't good enough, or the culture wasn't there, or the products were too expensive, or there was all these reasons why things were challenging. So I said, no more. I've had enough.
Yes.
And then my friend who got me into one of these network marketing companies said, oh, look, I've found the perfect business for you, Julie, because she said, go green. You can help people take toxic products out of their home, because people don't realise how toxic the products are, and replace them. And the good thing is it doesn't cost them any extra money, because they just divert where they spend their money. So instead of going to the supermarket and buying products, the cleaning products, take cleaning products for an example, they divert it through the online shopping club. They buy them from the online shopping club, getting lots of discounts and specials, and they save themselves money. For anyone who's from America and listening, they say they have like Target pricing and an Amazon-like shopping platform. So it really, really works well. And why I'm really passionate about it, like I read a study on cleaning products, and it was an independent study. They took 20,000 people and they monitored them for over 20 years. The whole time I've been a marriage celebrant.
Wow.
And they had 16 different researchers who analysed the results. And that one of the major findings was that if someone cleaned once a week, cleaning with ammonia-based or any toxic chemical from the supermarket, basically any of those, if you look at the ingredients, do not inhale, do contact the poison centre, etc. If you look at it, so 20 years, it's like, for 20 years, it's like smoking 20 cigarettes a day for 20 years.
Wow.
That's the finding.
And that just for once a week?
Once a week.
Wow.
So it's a cumulative damage. So if people keep cleaning, they're doing more and more and more damage to their lungs.
That is, wow. And I'm thinking of the poor people that's actually in cleaning companies. That is...
Well, it's interesting. Their findings were people who do commercial cleaning tend to wear masks and tend to have a lot of protective clothing, so that their results were much better than the people who just casually go and clean their toilet and wipe down their benches and things like that.
Wow, it's shocking. We do the going green thing. We use natural products, and just your basic stuff like vinegar and baking soda and things like that is also quite amazing. But sometimes, you need something a little bit more. And yeah, we use natural products, and it makes a big, big difference. So I'm so grateful that you're teaching people or guiding them in that direction, because we need that, and not just for people, but also for the environment, because all that stuff goes down the drains and it's bad for the earth, really.
Absolutely. And that's why I love this business, is because it's online, it's a shopping club. You don't have to do anything other than look after yourself, unless you want to, like me, who I'm on a mission. But when they see what is not in the products compared to like your lipstick you pick up and what's in that product, the hand wash that you get from the supermarket, all these products, anything that goes on your skin is toxic. They have parabens and things like that in them, and it's just frightening. So there's over 500 products on their product line that they can switch out.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
Right, yeah. And we all I use natural products. You probably heard about Arbonne. It's quite big, but they did a natural product line. And I've got a friend that sells it, and it's like I'm converted, but it's also because then I learned about the products, how bad that chemical stuff is on your skin. Over time, you don't realize it immediately, but over 5 or 10 years, it's really bad and the big cause for cancer. So I'm so grateful for you that you did. We will drop links on the bottom of this podcast and YouTube video so you guys can go and support Julie to actually just go green. I think it's such an amazing opportunity to just convert your products. I mean, if it doesn't cost anything and you have savings, why not? I think that's amazing.
It is. It's a win-win. It really is.
Definitely a win-win. Definitely. And I mean, let's leave a green earth for our children, I would say.
It's a good motivating factor.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so I've got an interesting question for you. Why do you contribute to your success? What is that thing that you feel is making you successful?
My determination.
Oh, I love it.
I think that's my catchword, because I have some really, really big goals, and I am determined I will get there.
Nice.
And so I've done a lot of work on my understanding about money and my money mindset. Mm-hmm. So because your upbringing, your parents worked really incredibly hard for money. Well, my parents did. Yes. And they gave us everything we could possibly want. But their belief system is that you have to work really hard for money. Mm. And I've changed that mindset.
Yes.
Because you don't have to work that hard. If you do what you're passionate about, you do it because you want to help people and you're grateful, the money flows.
Yes. Goosebumps. I agree with you. Yeah, that's something that's definitely, I'm doing similar teaching to you, and I'm just helping people to make money online. And it's exactly that. And you don't have to work like 70 hours a week and never see your family to earn a good income. And that's the beautiful world that we're in today. We are in online stuff. So there's so many things out there that you can do. It's actually very, very cool. What are you currently working on? Are you working on any projects at the moment?
I've got 2. I'm getting people signed up to go green. That's really important. I'm also got another opportunity, which is where I'm helping people to be financially successful in their own right. And that's where my big goals are, because they have 2 foundations, and I'm giving 100K to both the foundation. One is Greenfinity Foundation, which is saving the bees and doing projects around the world to make the world a better place. And the other one is the Child and Family Foundation, and that is for families who, well, we're building schools in countries that don't have schools, and we're funding teachers and helping environments. And we've done a project like in New Zealand, where I can't think what the project was. It was before I came involved, but they said they'd done a project which is grassroots helping people. And that's what I think is a really good cause.
I love these things. One of my goals is, and people listening to my podcast know this, is to help people in third world countries that have no schooling and education, and just, helping them and guiding them. And that's one of the reasons why I started this podcast, to just change mindsets of people, because that also helps, just getting them positive thinking, in the environment. So I think it's amazing what you do. Oh, there's just goosebump moments throughout this interview. You are such an amazing person, Julia. I'm so happy that I've met you. This is so great. Okay, one last little question-y, statement-y thing. If you can give anybody advice that is sitting on the fence to become an entrepreneur, but they're not exactly sure if that's what they want to do, what advice would you give them?
Stop sitting on the fence. Really, I mean, life's for living. And I always am telling people, think about what you want to think about to have happen, not what you don't want to think about to have happen. And if an opportunity comes to you, you can spend a little bit of time thinking about it, but then you have to act on it, because the opportunity has been sent to you for a reason.
Yes.
The opportunities only come up, and if you're watching and looking and you take those opportunities, you will be well rewarded. The universe is there to support us.
I love it. That's really great advice. I would strongly recommend you guys have that. Now, before we actually push the record button, I ask you what was that board behind you. Can you please let the audience know what is that board? Because I think it's so.
That's my positivity board, and it's got a whole lot of positive sayings on it. And it's interesting because every now and then one falls off, and I pick it up and I read it, and I think that's my message for today.
That's awesome. I love it. That is
the universe working in its mysterious ways.
That's amazing. I love that board. I've got a vision board with things on it, and that's taking it to the next level. I absolutely love that. It's fabulous. Okay, so we will definitely drop all Julie's links down at the end of this podcast, and you guys can go and click on it and support her. And even if you just go green, that will be fabulous. All right. Thank you so much, Julia. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate you having this interview with me. It was fabulous talking to you. And and we will definitely stay in touch, I'm sure.
That's wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.